Thanks for joining us. It's Emerald Downs Weekly time right here on NBC Sports Northwest. We're coming off our first day of the season, 2018 at Emerald Downs. Looking forward to more this weekend, and we'll be talking about all of that. Joe Withey, Gary Doherty, and Phil Ziegler. Welcome, fellas.
Hey, guys.
Yes, indeed. And coming off a great opening day here at Emerald Downs last Sunday, 10 races. And, guys, I thought the best thing about it was seeing all the people at Emerald Downs. Wow, we've had some dreary days weather-wise here in the Pacific Northwest, and we weren't open, but to see the apron packed and the paddock and the park and inside did well. Just great to see the people back here at the track.
And the mountain. Even the mountain came out towards the end of the day. It was just a great vibe around the track. Over 5,000 people were here. Kids, fans of all ages having a good time, getting their first shot at some of the new food offerings we have at the track, and of course some of the old favorites like ice cream and hot dogs and French fries.
Gary,
you put on those, right?
You put on a few miles.
I did. We also gave out 19 TVs during the races, 3 after each race. So a lot of excitement to see whose name was drawn out of the hopper. And we gave out all the TVs.
We advertised 20. What did you take one, or what happened?
Well, no,
there?
I didn't take one. We actually the casino wanted to have one to be drawn away later that night after the live music. So all in all, it was a great day. The food and beverage lines were good. Good people in line getting drinks, and it was a very fun day here for opening day 2018.
We are back live racing at Emerald Downs, and we're going to double the fun this weekend, racing Saturday and Sunday first race at 2 p.m. each day. More on that a little bit later. But, hey, let's get to racing on opening day. The first race of the season kicked off right at 2 p.m., and we had a jockey riding here for the first time. He's going to go to the lead right here. That's Of Good Cheer under Patrick Henry Jr., getting the better of Bet on the Gray with Javier Matias. But Patrick Henry Jr., his first mount ever at Emerald Downs, a win for the Homestretch Farm. Trainer Kay Cooper, there's Patrick coming into the winner's circle. He's a native of Jamaica. He's been campaigning on the East Coast. And that's a way to get your name out there among the horsemen. Win the first race of the meet, fellas.
You bet. And he paid a good price. 8-9 to 1 in the first race. And it was great to see a new rider come here and boom, first race, winner into the paddock. And he had a very good song. All the jockeys get to pick a song out. And it was a lot of fun there in the winner's circle for the first race.
What was his song? I didn't hear that part. You probably can't name it right now. But you liked it.
Yes, I did. It was fun. Yep.
Good enough right there. Patrick Henry Jr., several new jockeys this year as well, Gary.
Yes, we had Austin B. Solis here. He come up to ride. He won a race, and so did Gary Wales. In fact,
he won 2.
Rastaman is Patrick's song. He's Rastaman Vibration. Okay, he is from.
Okay.
Thanks for the TV room for updating
That's a song, right.
on that. He is a Jamaica guy, and he definitely likes Bob Marley and reggae music. But very personal guy.
And Gary Wales won 2 also on opening day.
Yeah, you gave it away, man. That was going to be a whole segment right there.
Oh, 7 minutes?
We haven't mentioned Rocco.
Yeah, Rocco Bowen, our defending jockey champion, 2-time defending champion. And here is Rocco aboard Wine at 9. Coming down the stretch, a very heavy favorite, that horse. Why? Because he was claimer of the meeting last year. He won in April, May, June, July, August, and September at Emerald Downs last year. And this horse is a great one to have. 2 putts for the Win stable. Always a big winner's circle when they're involved. Vince Gibson, the winning trainer. Rocco, no stranger to the Emerald Downs winner's circle. And that was the first of a pretty good day for him on Sunday.
He got kind of comfortable in that winner's circle. Always nice to get that first one. You can see the look on his face, even though he's riding a 1-9 shot. Just a little bit of relief. Exhale just a bit when you get that first, because he had not won the first 3 races. And for Rocco, that's a losing streak, and he wanted to break that, and boy, did he ever.
So Rocco Bowen aboard Wine at 9, and Rocco rattled off 3 more consecutive wins. He won races 4, 5, 6, and 7. Rojo Bo Peep, Sulamoyne, and Please Be Me, all ridden by Rocco Bowen. And that's a pretty darn good start. And he is, Rocco's not afraid to be confident a little bit. Did you hear about his self-prediction there about this meeting of 3 wins a day for the season?
3 a day for 67 days. quick math. I'm a stat degree. That's 201 wins, Phil. One season, 201.
And you know what? He's already one ahead of the pace.
He is.
He's got 4.
This is the 3rd time that Rocco's won at least 3 races on opening day. Nobody else has ever done it one time.
You've got a lot of opening day stats, my man.
Big spreadsheet.
Who's the leading all-time jockey on opening day?
Right.
There
Galen Mitchell.
Galen Mitchell. Now, that's not a surprise because Mitchell's the only jockey to ride in our first 20 seasons, each one. He is our all-time leading jockey still. So Mitchell ahead of 1. Gutierrez and Rocco now in 3rd. And Jennifer Whitaker, 10 wins on opening day for her because her trainer has done fairly well. The trainer that she rides for the most, Howard Belvoir, has done well.
Jen got number 10 on Sunday.
Gary Doherty is obsessed with opening day stats.
That he is.
He helped us out with that one. There's Howard Belvoir, and Howard had a winner on opening day as well, and we're going to get to that too. That was the feature race. Jeff Metz won 5 races on an opening day.
He did, and he won 2 on Sunday. I said, Jeff, you're 7 beyond Howard. He says, I've got time to catch him. So we'll see.
Tim McCanna, our all-time leading trainer, 10 opening day wins. Robbie Bays with 9. So there's some opening day stats for you. That's out of the way, but I think you had to be happy with business as well, Phil.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was just so much fun to see everybody out in the sunshine. Like you mentioned, the weather has just been rainy for so many weeks in a row. And last year we opened up earlier in April, and if we had done that this year, it just would have been a total washout. It was pouring those first 2 weekends, and then we got to Sunday, and the sun was out, and it was about 60 degrees. It was perfect. The racing was good. We had 10 races, over 5,000 people here, and I think every single person here had a good time.
1.9 million, all source handle. That's a fantastic number. 1.9 million bet on our races and our fans betting races from around the country.
Yeah, a great day of business, and I think fans were so happy to get back to Emerald Downs. We've been away since last September, and we're ready for a great season. As we previewed last week, you might have seen us. Every divisional champion from last year is expected to run at the 2018 meeting, and we're going to have some new stars as well. We'll talk about some of that stuff when we come back. Thanks for joining us on Emerald Downs Weekly.
Hey, Phil, there's like one TV hasn't been picked up.
Uh-oh.
You know, I'm thinking.
No, you can't keep it. No.
Did he cup the entry?
I know what you're going to say. No.
We can put it in my my area at work here.
Emerald Downs Weekly, NBC Sports Northwest. You can catch us at 11 p.m. on Thursday evenings and Friday morning at 9 a.m. The show's repeated, so a couple of chances to catch Emerald Downs Weekly, a review and preview of all things Emerald Downs. And one thing that goes on around here every April or every spring is the Geese Getaway. Now that mother and father geese, they're trying to get those babies out into the infield. We've got a big lake out there, Lake Emerald.
Phil, don't get any ideas.
It took a few of us to route them the right direction.
They congregate by Look at that, right in the gates.
Well, it wasn't that easy. We had to do a little routing. They
really?
try and go into your office area where there's too many
welcome.
Fences, but they eventually got across the track and into the infield safely, and that happens a few times every spring. So.
Nice family there.
Yeah. Bunch of kids, young'uns. They get out by the...
Kids get in free, by the way.
That's right. Well, the mother and dad got in free there, I think.
Well, they got passes.
Well.
And this weekend, teachers get in for free, right, Phil?
That's right. Teacher Appreciation Weekend coming up Saturday and Sunday. Free admission for teachers and a guest. And some chips and sodas as well.
Wow.
All free.
That's a good deal. Okay, all teachers.
Or school district employees. So if you work for a school district, maybe you're not a teacher, but you work in the school district, just show your ID
Anybody
and you get in for free.
At a school who works there can get in for free and bring a friend.
And that is both Saturday and Sunday?
Yep, come both days if you want.
Okay. Hey, a little bit more about opening day. The big payout of the day was in race number 8. This was a maiden special weight, no claiming for these 3-year-old fillies. And coming down the stretch was spot on under Austin Solis, the son of Alex Solis. Gets a big win here. probably some talent in that group, but Spot On was the easy winner and paid $39.80 to win. And the Kay Cooper Barn, her second win on opening day. Good start for them.
Yes, what a great price for a firster from the Cooper Barn. You know, back in the late Jim Penny, they used to send us some nice firsters that were won out here. I looked up, that's Austin's 41st lifetime victory.
Okay.
Started riding in 2013 at Tampa. He's got a few wins to go to catch his dad. His dad, Alex Solis, in the Hall of Fame, won 5,035 races.
Wow.
So it's neat to see his son up here riding here at Emerald Downs. Really cool.
Spot On, and the full younger sister of Find Your Spot, who was Washington champion 3-year-old filly just a few years ago. So the Cooper Barn looks like they have a pretty good one there. Then there was the feature race, the 9th of 10 on Sunday. This was for fillies and mares, and Exit 60 Slew was a big favorite in there. Why? Because she won a claiming award for the state of Washington last year. She also won the Washington Cup over Citizen Kitty, but we had an upset in here.
Yeah, Mary Lois gets the job done. Howard Belvoir, and
up the fence.
Hard knocking horse here. I've been running at Portland through the winter, running in some stakes races there.
There's Mary Lois, 9-year-old mare, and Exit 60 Slew, a little bit of a wide trip. She comes on nicely to get second, but Mary Lois, yeah, she's pretty much split her career between here and Portland.
Yep, and six wins here and 5 at Portland now.
Talking with owner Rick Southall, she was so small that he really didn't get her going till she was about a 4-year-old. Wow. And she has been a standard around here. That was a nice win. That was her biggest win ever up here at Emerald Downs anyway. And that was Jennifer Whitaker aboard. Jennifer climbed the list on opening day stats. She's also our all-time winningest female jockey. So Howard Belvoir, my selection to win the training title this year.
That's right.
He's averaging 1 per day. That'll put him right in the mix.
Yeah.
So that was the 9th of 10, and in the final race of the day, Gary Wales picked up his second winner of the card. You mentioned him a little bit earlier. Gary Wales, he's a newcomer to the track, and he started off with a bang, too.
Right. He started riding in 2008, so this is his 11th year of riding. He's won 265 lifetime victories. So, yeah, he keyed that late pick 5. One person in the country, nailed that pick 5 for $23,000. So they'll be Gary Wales fans for life.
Yeah, there's Gary aboard. Desert Black, race 10 for trainer Jeff Metz. Jeff had a double on opening day. Vince Gibson, Jeff Metz, Kay Cooper, trainers all doubled. And, yeah, that was a record pick 5 at Emerald Downs to end the Sunday opening day card, $23,000. So,
one winner.
Yeah, one winning ticket. And that brings to mind some of the top payoffs in track history at Emerald Downs. That is a new standard for the pick 5. And our biggest payoff ever is in the pick 6, but we're going to get to that a little bit later.
There you go.
Okay. There we have it. $153 to win. Look at the show payoff in our track history is higher than the win payoff. That was
can you say bridge jumper?
2-year-old stake race back in 2010, I believe it was. And there is 187. All 3 horses paid huge to show that day.
I can't believe, Gary, you hit that pick 6 and spent it all on that foreign land deal.
They're supposed to be off the record. Now, we debuted the jackpot pick 7 on Sunday and had a handle of almost $5,000. 9 winning tickets, chose 6 winners. They all got back about $300. So the next this weekend on Saturday, we'll have a jackpot pool carryover of $1,660.
Okay, yeah, a new jackpot pick 7, so just 1 ticket and you get the bulk of the pool. You have to be the only ticket holder to get the bulk payoff. But it does stimulate some carryovers and interest. And as you said, Phil, with 7 instead of 6, you're a little bit more likely to have a single winner.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but it's easier to have a unique winning ticket with 7 races rather than the 6 that a bunch of tracks around the country do. And we think this will get hit at least a few times, but you know, we might see carryovers of possibly up to 40 or 50,000 during this year, so we'll see how that plays out. But it's a very intriguing bet. It's something for about $20. You can cover a lot of combinations and have a good chance. Hit one long shot, you might just take home the entire pool. So should be some big payouts on that one.
20-cent pick 7 covers the final 7 races each race day at Emerald Downs. Next race day is Saturday, first race at 2 p.m. We'll be talking about some of that action coming up as well and more. We're just a little over a week away from the Kentucky Derby, and Emerald Downs a great place to be. More on that as well. You're listening and watching Emerald Downs Weekly right here on NBC Sports Northwest. We'll be right back.
Phil, what's my allotment on mint juleps on that day while I'm working?
You like them?
Oh,
a lot of people, it's a tradition.
Most employees wouldn't even ask that question, but you know.
I wouldn't mind getting a double.
One double? You can have a virgin julep. Yes.
Virgin julep.
I'll buy you one of those.
Unacceptable.
Emerald Downs Weekly, NBC Sports Northwest, Kentucky Derby coming up, and Emerald Downs, of course, the place to be locally. Watch and wager on the Run for the Roses. And Bob Baffert, that trainer that's, well, he's pretty darn famous in this sport, and he could well have the favorite. Most people think that Justify will go off as the favorite on Kentucky Derby Saturday, but he never raced as a 2-year-old. Phil, do you think Justify is going to win this race?
The jinx of Apollo, right? Back in the, what year was it? 1870
I want to say
1876
or somewhere around there.
Apollo, the only unraced 2-year-old to ever win the Kentucky Derby back in a day when they used to run these races at different distances and different order. And, you know, something never happens until it happens. And eventually it happens. So I don't know if that's just a trend or a streak that'll continue. That wouldn't be a reason for me not to bet them. But certainly add some intrigue and history to it.
You know, yes, what happened in the men's NC2A tournament this past year, we had, which I believe would never happen in my lifetime, a 16 seed beat a 1 seed. I said that would never happen, and it did.
Yeah.
Now this is, similar.
It was a rout, too.
It was very one-sided.
You got some free pizza out of that deal, didn't you?
Free pizza?
Yeah.
And teriyaki maybe, too.
Okay.
But
tie that back in, the pizza and the NCAA into Justify.
Yeah, well, let's do that. If Justify wins, I'll buy pizza for the administration department. How's that?
All right. There was a big pizza chain, by the way, that did a promotion of a 16 beat a 1, and everyone in the country got free pizza.
And you went down and got in line.
We did not get online.
You got in line, but it was too long, correct?
No. Yeah, it was. It was a long line.
Unbelievable.
So I'm taking that you don't think Justify is going to win.
I'm thinking he's only raced, 3 or 4 times, 20 horses in the race. If he draws a great post, he has a chance, but I'd play against him.
I'm rooting for him now.
I'm rooting for Apollo.
We got pizza at stake. You
now,
buy teriyaki or pizza?
Pizza.
One? Okay.
I guess I can't get out of it.
We've had a lot of favorites win the Kentucky Derby in the past, since Fusaichi Pegasus back in the early 2000s. So, they didn't win the Kentucky Derby for so long. Favorites, that is. Justify, I'd bet against him as well, especially at 3-1. As Gary said, a 20-horse field. He's a very talented horse, but there's going to be a lot of juicy odds elsewhere. And as usual, I'm going to take a chance. Maybe this year I might cash a Kentucky Derby ticket. Who knows? But we're all 3 against Justify.
Yeah, we'll see next week on the show. We'll be able to make our picks. We'll know the post positions, and that means a lot, too.
Justify should be out there early, though. He should be one of the 1, 2, or 3 that get out running from the gate. I don't know if post is going to matter for him too much unless he breaks bad from the 1 hole. But we'll get more on that next week. Speaking of the Kentucky Derby, Emerald Downs, again, the place to be. We'll have a great crowd. We'll have our truly fabulous hat contest and live racing as well. First race at 2 p.m. Saturday, May 5th. And I think we mentioned on last week's show that Riser, our champion 3-year-old at Emerald Downs last year, he's going to be running on Kentucky Oaks Day, Friday, May 4th. You can watch and wager on that right here from Emerald Downs, our local satellite facilities as well. He's going to be running short on the grass and $150,000 stake.
And we should mention, because your contest that you're running, Gary, on Derby Day, a lot of people think hats ladies, right? ladies' hats, get in free, the whole thing. But we also have categories. There's a Dapper Dan and also a Best Dressed Couple that we have prizes for.
Yes. And Phil,
no,
this probably wouldn't qualify as a Dapper Dan hat,
but you would get. But if you wore that, you would get into the track for free.
That's right, free admission if you wear a hat, right, Joe?
Derby themed hat, that qualifies.
It's bright.
I know the Trifecta King didn't score, but it's only one day. Don't be too depressed, you know.
You know, I am bummed. That was a $38 loss. We're in the
oh boy. Okay, so and then our next big event is Mother's Day. That will be Sunday, May 13th. Keep that in mind. Big day at Emerald Downs. So many local families treat mom to a fantastic day with our Mother's Day buffet and a lot of prize drawings for people throughout the day. Ma's or mothers, let's call them mothers, are eligible. So Mother's Day, May 13th here at Emerald Downs. Meet the jockeys. How about getting to know some of our riders here at Emerald Downs? Let's go to that right now.
My most memorable win, I'd have to say, was in the Seattle Slew Stakes aboard Aquafrio for trainer Blaine Wright. That was my first stake wins, and it was pretty big to me winning that race and getting my first stakes out of the way.
My most memorable win would be on this horse named Duke's Up. It was a horse one of my best friend's dad owned, and I actually rode the horse 5 times, and I won on it 3 times. And it was the first time I went on it was at Del Mar, and that was a place that we used to spend summers together, so it was a pretty neat win.
Actually, my most memorable win was La Pai, and that was a trial for the Super Stake in Jamaica, and that was really a nice horse. So, you know, I would say that race.
The best rider, well, there's quite a lot of good riders out there, but I really look up to Pinkai, and when he came up as a young kid from his country and started from nothing and became something.
There's way too many to name. There's my dad, I definitely idolized: Santos, Pinkai, Smith, Stevens, Dettori. There's so many down the list. You just have to pick and choose of what your favorite was of them.
Wow, there's so many good riders. I'll say my favorite rider, Angel Cordero. You know, as a little kid growing up, Angel, you know, was my inspiration. You know, seeing him ride, he was like a butterfly on a horse. So I would give it to Angel.
Something that few people know, I ran track and field and did every single sport in high school. I was really athletic and went to nationals for track and field across the country a few times, and it's pretty good. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that I love to play golf, so now moving to Washington, I'm really excited to see all these courses here because it's so beautiful and green.
I like to cook, you know. I'm a jovial guy, and I like to be around, positive people.
Well, some information from some of our riders. Kevin Orozco in his 2nd season here at Emerald Downs. Austin Solis, Patrick Henry Jr., newcomers to Emerald Downs. And Kevin was quite the track star in high school, and Austin Solis wants to play some golf up in the Northwest. And as you heard, Patrick Henry likes to cook. So we'll have more about our jockeys as we continue on through the season. Thanks for joining us so far. More to come here on Emerald Downs Weekly. We'll be right back.
Joe, you can take Austin Solis to lots of golf courses.
Yeah, if he's better than me, I don't know if I want to take it more than once. Well,
how far is a gimme when you play? Inside 5 feet? Okay, it's time for a 2018 bold prediction. First off, to my left and to your right, Mr. Joe Withey.
Okay, well, the track record for wins in one day by a jockey is 6. Kevin Radke and Seth Martinez have pulled that off. I'm saying Rocco Bowen breaks the record this year and wins 7 races on one card. He's a hard worker, he's aggressive, he is wanting to ride a lot, and he got off to a pretty fair start on opening day, of course, with those 4 wins. Rocco Bowen to win 7 races on one card this year, a new Emerald Downs record. That's one that's going to fall.
That's a bold prediction.
Rocco Bowen.
That's a bold prediction.
Gary?
Well, I had 3 of them to pick from. First one I thought about, Since Tom Harris called a triple dead heat at Yakima, I said, well, Tom's calling races here now. By golly, might we see a triple dead heat for first in the race here? So that's too tough.
I almost picked that.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, I didn't bet you picked this one. I was thinking the Trifecta King could give out a $1,000 trifecta pay for $1. I said, boy, that would, I need a couple of bombers in there. Well, there's a lot of days of racing left, but I said, nah, that's too much pressure. So I went for the Jose Zunino double. I think he can win the ostrich race in back-to-back seasons. There he is. He went easy that day. And he can follow that up with a win on a zebra and get that unique daily double of ostrich zebra. Win both races.
Oh, look, they all go down there.
He makes it right. Does he make it to the finish line?
Yeah, just right at the finish line. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a little controversy on that, but
he made it the furthest.
He did. He got to the wire. Jose Zunino. Those ostriches are tough.
Now I got to make sure Jose will run a zebra. Hopefully he'll do that.
What's that technique there, Jose? Oh,
look at that.
The horse. This is the horse.
May 20th.
That's right, May 20th.
Sunday, May 20th.
There's the winning ostrich right there. Yeah, May 20th. Come on out for ostrich races, camel races, and this year, Gary,
zebras.
Yeah.
And we'll have a pen set up on the south end track level. You can come out the day before on Preakness Day, have some pancakes in the morning, and come out and see the birds and the camels, and of course the zebras.
Okay. That is May 20th for that gala event. Horse races too that day, by the way. And Phil?
My bold prediction is we do this promo every Friday night where somebody gets to throw a horseshoe, and Gary goes out there and puts the big stake in the ground, and we get 3 contestants every Friday night. This year, my bold prediction is somebody will hit a ringer and win the big prize. Because it did not, the odds maker, impossible to win. You want to know why it's impossible? Because Gary runs out there if it's close and gets that horseshoe picked up right away.
Well, we're on camera. No,
you're on camera.
Somebody throws a ringer.
Somebody was really close last year.
Yes.
And nobody did it.
We had 3 contestants every Friday night. There was plenty of chances, but
we had to duck a few times, standing behind the glass.
Gary's taking care of the company's money by making it a long toss, but you claim that's the official distance?
We thought 40 feet. That's what a toss is. And you can step on the line. You can go over a little bit as you throwing motion.
That's part of Fab Friday, every Friday night during the season.
Yep.
Starts May 11th, our first horseshoe toss of the year. Joe, you love doing that. It's one of your favorite promotions, I know, going out there.
I think we should invite Walter Ray Williams out to throw a horseshoe.
Yes, nice.
You know that name?
Nice reference.
He's a bowler.
Ray Williams.
He's a bowler.
He's also a champion.
Wow.
Yeah, world champion horseshoe tosser. So, okay. There's some bold predictions.
I did not think that Walter Ray Williams Jr.'s name was coming up during the show today.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
That would have been a bold prediction.
He was a guest at Longacres way back then.
Really?
Yeah, there was a horseshoe toss there to win a trip to the Kentucky Derby.
Gary, get him on the phone.
Yeah, Walter Ray.
I'll work on that.
Okay, I wonder if he can still toss 40 feet, or as far as Gary has our fans
it's measured
tossed.
precisely.
I think it's more like 50 feet. But
we got it measured down to the inch.
Okay, how about Emerald Downs has been around since 1996. You know, this is our 23rd season. So, Phil, what's changed the most in racing since then?
You know, we saw it in the picture that we just showed with the ostrich and Jose Zunino. And if you look in the background of that picture, the biggest difference since 1996 everywhere you go, but especially at the racetrack, is everyone's holding up one of these to take pictures.
Yeah.
It was not like that. In fact, back in the day in horse racing, the payphones were locked up at the track. You couldn't even make a phone call. Now everybody has their phones, and everyone's taking pictures of every race. And especially when we're doing those promotions, you look up and down the line, and you just see hundreds and sometimes thousands of people holding their phone up in the air.
Yeah. Gary?
I think this the time the track is open now. We opened for the first simulcast race and end at 2 a.m. with casino card playing. Back in 1996, you came out. What you did was watch 8 to 10 live races. Now there's over 100 races you can bet on across the country, from 9 a.m. to midnight from Australia. So that's a big, big change. Just the amount of races that you can bet on. Another would be all the places you can get food and drink here. It's really, we've got so many places now where you can get different kind of food, lots of different kind of drinks, and so the option is huge. those are the biggest differences in 23 years.
Once we get him going, he's good. I mean, he had 2 answers to that question.
Yeah, I know.
He had 3 answers to his bold prediction. So,
hedging his bet.
And what also changed was the amount of hair. I used to have lots of hair in 1996. Joe, remember?
And that hair used to keep the glasses up.
Yes, that's true.
It's not there to keep the glasses up.
2 pairs of glasses on. You know, I never did figure that one out.
What about you, Joe?
Okay. I'm going to go with something that just in racing and wagering menus, so much more exotic wagering now than there was. Even in 1996, we didn't have a trifecta every race back then. We had exacta every race, and then it went to trifecta every race. And then now we've got the 20-cent pick 7, we've got a pick 5, we've got multiple pick 4s.
10 cents.
10 cent supers.
A dime.
That's right. We didn't have superfectas, I don't think, when we started either.
No, we did not.
No, we didn't.
We have better IRS laws now, too, for big winnings.
That's right. So just a lot more wagering options going on at the track. Okay, our trivia question for today. Rocco Bowen won 4 races on opening day, and they were all consecutive. Races 4, 5, 6, and 7. What's the record at Emerald Downs for consecutive wins on one card by a jockey? That's our question for this week. We'll have the answer when we come back. This is Emerald Downs Weekly, NBC Sports Northwest. Emerald Downs Weekly, 11 p.m. Thursday nights right here on NBC Sports Northwest. Repeated at 9 a.m. on Friday morning as well. Joe Withy, Gary Doherty, and Phil Ziegler here. And thanks for watching our show. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot to do in 2018, heading into our second weekend of racing. Saturday and Sunday, first race each day at 2 p.m. Hey, the trivia answer, Rocco won 4 consecutive races on the card. Well, 5 consecutive is the answer. If you knew that, you're a good Emerald Downs fan. Kevin Krieger did it back in 2010, and Leslie Mowing did it as well in 2014. So they each won races 3 through 7 that particular day. That's pretty strong work to win 5 consecutive races. And Rocco's going to win 7 this year. He might tie that record or break that record too.
He does it on a Friday night. That's all 7.
Yeah.
Scoop the card.
Sweep the card. That would get some publicity around the country. Well, Howard Belvoir got off to a good start. He won with Mary Lois in our first feature race last Sunday. He is in the Washington Racing Hall of Fame as a trainer, and his stable seems pretty strong to me for 2018. Let's catch up with trainer Howard Belvoir.
On paper, it looks like I have a pretty good string. You know, it's just that I think this time of year everybody thinks they do, so, and everybody's got the best 2-year-old, but I have older horses that fit in the category, so everything seems like it's going along. He's come along good. He had just a little injury last year, so he laid him up, and he's good right now. So it just depends on the weather now. He is limited in number of races he's got here, 3 or 4. So it's tough to keep him here, but people like to run here. So he's training well. He had just a little injury too. It was a tough year. It was a good year and a tough year last year, but he had a little injury. I turned him out. He started twice. Ran second and win, I think, but he's a nice little colt, got speed, but he's got hooked the big boys this year. Yeah, he got hooked Barkley and Macho Man or whatever it is, but there's tough horses, and he's coming from a 3-year-old to a 4-year-old, so it'll be tough on him. So Lucky is very fast, and I like him on the front end. I prefer speed, but he's as fast a horse as is on the grounds here right now. So, but he'll probably set it up for Barkley, so he'll go out the front and then Barkley come from behind. Elliott Bay, he's a bigger, stronger horse this year. Over the winter he matured a little bit. Mind-wise, I was always worried about him, but he handles that great, and so he's been working great this year. I just rested him so he could grow up. I don't like to run 2 to 3, and so But he's got some tough competition too, and Sip and Fire is tough up there. I think you'll probably see him May 5th in a little allowance race, so it'll be good. Everybody says there's a challenge there, so that's what we like. So, but he's a nice colt. He's did everything more than I expected last year. I thought he was a nice colt, but the futurity was a big, I guess, a feather in my hat, because I liked that, because I've never won it before. So it was nice. So I have some real good cheap ones, which you want here. I mean, you got to buy for what the races felt. And so I have some bottom horses that fit. Mary Lois has come back off of Portland, pretty good Portland form. My Chief's been off a year. He had problems, and I was fortunate enough to be able to lay him up. And you know, you got old timers like Perfect Night. He's 9 now. He's probably last year or so for him. And but I got some middle of the road. I have a pretty good string where they're spread out pretty good. So, and I hope I have some money where I can buy something else, so that fits in the hole where I have. So I bought one colt I kind of like. He's by Roy, Attaboy Roy. I like him. I got another colt in Kentucky from Sky Mesa, by Sky Mesa, and I like him. So in my barn I got 3 or 4 nice colts. The fillies haven't come along yet like I want them, so, but they'll be there. But I've been very fortunate to be lucky to get good horses out of the sales there. Again, my people like to stay home, and they like to buy Washington breds, so, which is very good for the industry.
Howard Belvoir there talking about young 2-year-olds at the end of that, but his stable seems to be loaded. I'm pretty happy with my pick for him as leading trainer this year. How about that rundown? Stakes horses, medium claimers, 2-year-olds, he's got it all. He hasn't won a trading title here as of yet, but he's got some really nice numbers in his Emerald Downs career. 737 wins at this track. That's number 3 all time. He's tied for 4th in stakes wins with 43. 2 Long Acres miles, not bad. Wasserman and Assessment in back-to-back years. 7 divisional champions, different horses, and earnings at this track of $7.9 million for Howard Belvoir. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in this state in 2013. And I'm going to beat you guys this year with your picks for leading trainers.
Making us feel bad now.
Yeah.
Change our pick.
I think your odds are coming down. Blaine Wright, our 2 picks are Blaine Wright. I had Blaine Wright at about 3 to 5, and I had you at about 4 or 5 to 1. But after hearing Howard, very upbeat.
Phil, you also selected Blaine Wright, who does have a very strong stable as well. And Reiser, we mentioned, running in Kentucky on May 4th, the day before the Kentucky Derby. But you'll see plenty of Blaine Wright visits down there to the winner's circle, Phil.
You know, last year I picked Jeff Metz, and this year I didn't pick Jeff Metz. And Jeff's off to a good start as well. So I think this trainer title, all the titles this year I think are kind of up for grabs. I mean, Rocco's off to a great start, and obviously the big favorite for the jockey title. But I think the trainer competition is going to be pretty intense throughout the whole season.
Okay, that is more for this segment and more in our next segment on Emerald Downs Weekly right here on NBC Sports Northwest.
I think Charlie pours the most beers at the track, doesn't he?
Charlie the bartender.
He pours a lot of beer.
You got to mention it. He watches.
Suds is a good place to get a beer.
He was busy on Sunday, he said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Saw him out there getting ready to take his Harley home.
Got to get him on the show. Our final segment here on Emerald Downs Weekly. And guys, we got to do some handicapping now and give the folks a winner coming up this Saturday. We're going to pick one horse. The rule was any race we wanted, just pick a winner. So Joe, what do you got?
Sure. First race at 2 p.m. Saturday. I'm going to go to the 6th race, a maiden special weight race for 3-year-olds and up. It's a 5.5 furlong sprint. And Rain Rebel is in there, number 6, Rain Rebel by Attaboy Roy out of Melba Jewel. Very nice Washington breeding. Melba Jewel, a stakes winner here at Emerald Downs. She's also produced Psycho Sister, who may be the answer to a trivia question at some point this year. And Elliott Bay. Elliott Bay, of course, state champion 2-year-old last year. So Rain Rebel is from that family, and he improved in his second start last year as a 3-year-old. He's coming back for trainer Rosie Simpkins. Nice workouts. Gary Wales, maybe add to his win total. I'll go with Rain Rebel in the 6th race on Saturday. Gary.
2018, I need something I didn't need in 1996. A little bit of readers. Race 2. Drawn the outside. I'm looking to pick Will Not from the legendary Bob Meeking barn. It'll be ridden by the leading rider, Rocco Bowen. She's shown speed in the past. This is her first start since September. Last year, first out of the box, she run real big, run second, lead most of the way. Today's race, or excuse me, Saturday's race is 5 panels. So I'm looking for Rocco Bowen to team up with Bob Meeking with Will Not, race 2 Saturday. Phil?
I'm going for race 7. And Mike Mansgold is in that race, by the way. And Joe Toy, who we didn't mention when we were discussing trainers, he won a race on opening day. He's not even here yet.
No.
So that's pretty good. Mike Mansgold's going to be a big favorite probably in that race, which is why I like picking against horses like that. Sometimes their first start out maybe needs the race. So Iron Rob coming in from Santa Anita. And this horse had been running against much better company. Ran at Del Mar pretty much for the bulk of the year last year. Comes from Southern California, makes that jump up to the northwest here at Emerald Downs and gets a nice spot. Maybe wins at a little bit of a price. We'll see.
Iron Rob to beat Mike Mansgold. How about that, Gary?
Mike Mansgold in 2015, first race, the race here, win. 2016, first race here, win. Last year is 2017, first race, win.
Oh, you held out that data from Phil. And Mike Mansgold is number 2 all-time in wins at Emerald Downs. 21 for West Seattle boy, 17 for Mike Mansgold. What a horse he's been in his whole career. 4 stakes wins at this track, and again, climbing the list. I think he's going to be favored in that race on Saturday.
I would think.
Yeah. Yes. Who's riding? Rocco? Rocco's won 7.
But I picked against him.
Rocco's won 7 times aboard Mike Mansgold, and Javier Matias has the most with 9.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Javier Matias had the key to that horse, won several stakes on him when Mike Mansgold was younger, but Mike Mansgold is older, and he is still very fast. He almost was right there in the Muckleshoot Tribal Classic on Washington Cup Sunday against the likes of our top horse of the season, our top Washington bred. So we have a little bit more to talk about. We're going to get ready for the Kentucky Derby here at Emerald Downs. That's going to be a big party day. That is a week from this coming weekend. But this weekend, once again, Teacher Appreciation Day. And get that word out. Teachers know about it, but all school district employees once again.
Yeah, so anybody that works in a local school district, just show your ID at the gates. You get free admission for you and a guest. And you also get free chips and soda for yourself and a guest as well. So it's a great deal. And if you want to take advantage of that deal both days, come on out Saturday and on Sunday.
And that includes community college professors?
Absolutely.
Anybody
who's involved in the educational program.
Exactly.
Yes. And, you know, one thing people may not know about Emerald Downs is that if the weather isn't great, and right now the forecast is kind of iffy, but if it's a little cooler, even if it's raining, people call us and say, hey, you're still running racing if it's raining out. Yes. And our entire 5th floor is enclosed. You can get a table, watch the races from the comfort up there. We have an arcade on track level for the kids. So there's a lot of fun things to do while you watch the races and bet on the races. And sometimes there's interesting handicapping challenges when the track's a little off or wet as well. So even if it's rainy or cool, come on out to the track anyway, because it's always fun at Emerald Downs.
And on that note, both on Friday and Saturday nights, we have live music on the 5th floor starting at 8:30. All shows are free. We got Hair Nation playing some rock and roll stuff, music from the 80s on Friday night. And then Saturday night, we got Scorpions and Motley Crue tribute bands We're expecting a big crowd and lots of fun. 8:30 Saturday night. This is the place to be.
Okay, and again, first race on Saturday at 2 p.m. We are going to go to 5 p.m. post times on Saturdays. That's later in the month of May, but we'll be racing at 2 p.m. The next few weeks, so keep that in mind. And yeah, just looking forward to another great weekend. And as Phil said, we are an all-weather facility. In fact, our track does hold the water very well. Trainers will tell you that. And rain or
just
shine.
Look that up, Joe. 5 o'clock starts the week after Belmont.
Okay, the week after the Belmont in June then.
Yes.
Okay. I missed it only by 1 month, huh? only
Twilight Racing. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. Emerald Downs Weekly, you can catch us every Thursday night at 11 p.m. and Friday morning repeated at 9 a.m. as we will review and preview at Emerald Downs. And if you want to get a little more info and maybe get yourself a $100 win ticket on the Kentucky Derby, you can listen to the Win Play Show on KJR 950 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. You can listen online, and we're going to be giving away 2 more tickets at $100 a copy on Kentucky Derby runners. That'll be this Saturday and Sunday here at Emerald Downs on the Win Play Show, and looking forward to doing that as well. Fellas, any closing comments?
You know, I was going to say one of the most fun things you could do out here on the weekend is come on out. And people can go to the Quarter Shoot Cafe on Saturday and Sunday mornings, have a great breakfast, and actually be there and see you do the Win Play Show.
That's right. We do it live. Right from the Quarter Shoot Cafe. Joe and Sally Steiner. There's another good place to eat at the track.
Yeah.
Okay.
That show's on at 8 a.m. in the morning.
You've had a few burgers there, Gary.
And no, I like the big omelet. Big omelet.
They're already down about 16 hamburgers due to Matt Ditterman not being our track announcer this year, but they feel they can catch up.
Tom Harris is contributing.
Okay. Fellas, that's it for today. Thanks for watching very much. On to racing this weekend at Emerald Downs.
Joe, remind me to buy those $100 tickets on those horses, because I don't want to pay on my own pocket when we win.